think, for all of us who work in this area, it's a tremendously joyful, hopeful experience. But I think it's important to remember there have been people here in Washington State, in the Pacific Northwest, and really around the world, who've been looking to bring Toki home for decades. People like Howie Garrett, Ken Balcom before he passed away. Many people have been working on this. It just happens that we're in a moment in time when we have three things. We have an owner of a park, Eduardo Albor, the owner of the Dolphin Company, who has said he wants to help bring her home if it's possible. We have Pritam Singh, who has invested more than $1 million already as the co-founder and really, frankly, the founder of Friends of Toki, to really move this forward and provide for her care and welfare and independent veterinary analysis on site in the park and now going forward. And we have Jim Irsay, who has stepped forward and said he will help fund it completely or help fund it to the extent necessary, really with no holds barred. Those three ingredients have never been together before. So that's what makes this special. It's not that we're different from the others who've tried before. It's simply that this is a moment in time when it can happen if we have the regulatory approvals and we continue to have her health stabilized in the way it is today. Well, I think there really is, you're in wild ocean, and wild ocean has waves, it has currents, it has tides. Birds are flying across and resting on the surface. There's a sandy bottom with crabs and critters. There are fish swimming through it. So the environment, by its very nature, because it's in nature, is dynamic. And that's something you never have in a concrete tank. So that's enriching for the animals. Well, first of all, I think the situations are different. We should look at them differently. The situation with Toki, with Lolita, with Scully Shocktonaw, she has many names, is really a unique situation. She is an animal who was captured before the U.S. enacted the Marine Mammal Protection Act. So she's pre-act. She's also the only southern resident in captivity. So I think we should treat her separately. We should treat her as the unique animal she is and look to the National Marine Fisheries Service, the federal agencies, and the state agencies to work with us to bring her back home to a netted enclosure where she can be cared for the rest of her life. She's entertained millions of people. She has, frankly, made millions of dollars for the different people who have owned the park over the years. I think we owe her something back, and I think this is something we can do for her at this point in her life. First of all, I think, she has had some difficult health issues over the years. Certainly the public reports from the Department of Agriculture, Animal Plant Health Inspection Service in 2021 showed that she had some severe illness. In October of 2022, she had a difficult time, but she is receiving medication. Her veterinarians today say she is in better health, more stable health than she's been in at any time in the couple of years they have been examining her and providing for her veterinary care. So she is a robust, active animal today. When you visit her, as I've had the privilege of doing, she is active, she is responsive, she's just full of life. And she has demonstrated a will to live that, frankly, almost no other whale has ever demonstrated. 56, 57 years old, ups and downs, but very active, robust, and stable today. And her veterinarians have said she is healthy enough for a transport. She can certainly be in a new environment. Now, are there no risks at all? Of course there are some risks. There are risks today for any one of us wherever we are. But is this an opportunity to bring her home? Yes, it is. All of us are social animals, and everything we know scientifically about orca are that they are very social. If you look at it scientifically, their brains are more convoluted in the areas of communication and emotion than the human brain. So we've seen evidence, certainly here with the southern residents, of their connection to one another. their connection to family. So having her with a companion, even if it's a dolphin companion she knows well, is certainly something that is ideal. So that is an objective. We have to make sure it can be done. We have to make sure the regulators agree with all of these steps along the way, but certainly that's an objective. She'll also come home with the trainers, the people she is most dependent on and who have been working with her because she knows them. She's comfortable with them. She enjoys being with them. You can see that when she approaches them. So we want to make sure everything about this work is done responsibly, done carefully, abiding by all regulations, and following the science. Look, we're going to do this as expeditiously as possible. I've read the media just as you have, and all your readers and everyone who's watching has, and there are all kinds of speculation about how quickly it will be done or how long it may take. I don't think we know the precise answer to that, but we have a team of people in terms of the owner, Eduardo Albor, and the Dolphin Company, in terms of Friends of Toki, in terms of the Lummi Nation and all the indigenous tribal groups here in the Pacific Northwest, who also see her as a family member and a member of their family who lives beneath the waves. And they're committed to bringing her home as well. So we have all of this kind of life force all gathered together to bring her home, and it's a tremendous opportunity that we have to work as expeditiously as possible to bring it to fruition.